Men and women of the Imperium, hear me. There is no turning back now. There is no giving in. There is no surrender on this day. Though we may be an army from countless peoples, from countless worlds, today Cadia is our home. Its lands are ours to defend, its population ours to protect. From the Eye of Terror come the hordes of chaos. They seek to burn our homes and see the Imperium of Man come crashing down. But look to your comrades, soldiers. Look to the brothers and sisters who stand with you. No soldier among you is unworthy of the Emperor's blessing in the fight that's to come. He is with us. With every shot from a lasgun, with every tank shell that rends our enemy's armor, he is watching and he will protect the faithful. You have all fought with courage and dignity, well beyond anything that can be expected of a guardsman. Each and every one of you are a battalion unto themselves. Your souls are a raging fire to the darkness that seeks to consume all we know and love. The enemy knows this, and they fear you because of it. They fear you because you will fight to the last man, that you will not break, no matter what the enemy can throw at you. No mutated monster or warp-tainted beast can overcome you, not while there is a heartbeat in your chest and a prayer on your lips. You have the most powerful weapon this galaxy has ever seen at your disposal. You have the will of mankind. For 10,000 years, you have beaten the great enemy back, and you shall continue to do so for another 10,000 years. This is your home, this is your Imperium, and this is where you stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse casts this side of East Yorkshire. Today we've got a 4 versus 4 on Burial Ground. Fighting for Cadia, the force of Imperium, we've got Alfarius as the Space Marines, we've got Hamid as the Imperial Guard, we've got me as some Space Marines, and we have got the Blast Furnace as the Imperial Guard. Over fighting for the force of Chaos, we've got Stranger as the Chaos Space Marines, we've got Phoenix as the Chaos Demons, 77 as some demons as well, and Ishan as some Chaos Space Marines. So I'm thoroughly excited to be casting this game with you today, full of action-packed fighting and madness are to be expected for this game. The map is quite an interesting one, very large, considering that it is a 4v4 map. Main things to keep into consideration here is that you've got 3 people on either side of each map, very defensive, very safe. But each team does have one vulnerable player around the middle, so each team will have to work in tandem to keep their vulnerable players alive. Everyone just capturing their nearest and dearest at the moment, setting up for the fight that is to come. Imperial Guard and Space Marines. Obviously you've got lots of chaff in the form of Imperial conscripts. You've got the big tanks in the late game. Space Marines have got their general tactical dudes and dudettes, forming a core in the middle. Got some Assault Marines coming from Alfarius to keep these cultists on their toes as they move over to this relic over yonder. We also got some cultists over here making their way towards these conscripts. Very, well, how would I say, not the most amazing in combat, but they are numerous. Their reinforcement rate is tremendously quick. So actually killing a conscript squad does require a lot of DPS. Cultists going to sit in this heavy cover, firing away with their las pistols and whatnot. Tech Priest engines here are also going to join in the fight. Over here we've got some Imperial Guards, Ridesmen, moving in. They'll be stabbing these cultists in the face. Chaos Lord going to join them in their defence. Ultramarines already captured this relic in the middle here. Oh no, he hasn't. A little bit of a bug there, but will be capturing it at some point. Cult has been ridden down by the Guardsman Riders as a heretic is being spanked in the backside as he tries to run away. Chaos Lord going toe-to-toe with these Assault Marines. These Assault Marines don't mind a good old scrap. will be seriously doing him a number. Not sure if the Chaos Lord has DPS required to take these guys on, but he's certainly giving them something to think about. Almost taking out a model there. We'll do a big old spinny sword flick as he goes on with those guys, but will fall back. Do have my Space Marines moving in, capturing this critical location in the middle. And can we just appreciate, Stranger made me a couple of banners. I do quite like this. It's a little land shark with a Union flag. Remind you, it's not got the Northern Ireland part of it, but, you know, that'll teach them. Got some Furies moving in now, umming and ahhing whether they should come in. We'll decide to engage these guys in close combat. Quite decent in close combat, but these Space Marines aren't going to fall back anytime soon. They will hold the line while the Imperial Guard get ready to defend Cadia in whatever manner they seem fit. Scout Sword's going to move in to provide some firing support. As these Space Marines do not bend or waver, they will capture this critical location, regardless of what the Furies decide to do. Blasting these demons into the abyss. Punching them, never mind grabbing a Gladius. It's going to give them a good old-fashioned smack around the chops. Conscripts are also going to move in to provide some firing support. Got a bunch of lads over here that will come in at some point to send these Furies a packing. Do manage to decap that critical location there. Over here we have got some cultists being defended by double upgrade listing posts. Conscripts won't be able to do all that much when assaulting that position until later on in the game, I imagine. Although they do have a undefended strategic point over here. Chimera as well will help the conscripts move into combat. A big scrap in the middle now. Tactical Marines holding the line, allowing these conscripts to use their las guns to best effect. These dudes will fall back. And it does seem that the Ultramarines have managed to secure this relic. Double heavy bolters and an upgrade listing post, as well as Assault Marines. Though we do have some foul Chaos Space Marines moving forward now. Going to be supporting their cultists as they push back these Imperial Guardsmen riders. Fast attack. Quite fragile. Meant for the hit and run. Heavy bolter turrets firing away. Killing one unfortunate cultist. Too heavily defended for these guys to take on at the moment. Does seem that the central point has been defended well by the combination of conscripts and guardsmen. Oh, and tactical marines, sorry. Got some more moving in as well. Chaos Furies there, with their flesh hounds in tow, will move forward. Engage these Space Marines who are now been equipped with their flamers, ideal against monster and demon armour. Banishing these demons back to the war as the guardsmen concentrate with capturing the the strategic locations. Fleshhounds there, not something to be sniffed at in close combat. These tactical marines will find it a bit difficult to hold them back. While this is going on as well, we do have a, what would you call it, a Hell Talent breaking down the economy of my plasma generators. Will get an entire generator farm wipe over there, but will not help the defense of these listing posts as Chimeras and, well, we've got a regular old Chimera and a Chimera assault tank Cronus pattern armed with a heavy flamer. Again, ideal going up against the Chaos Demons. Chaos Space Marines moving in defense. Conscripts are going to get that decap before they're charging in. Bayonets are fixed against these monstrous mutated Chaos Marines.
The enemy must be nearby.
All's a little bit lax over here. Machine pit going down for Ishan. Fleshhounds also doing what they can. Chimera assault tanks moving forward straight into the Chaos Space Marines base. Though we do have triple Hell Talons, which will be quite difficult for these Chimera tanks to deal with. We'll probably want to fall back at some point. Chaos Space Marines over here, holding firm against the conscripts. We do have a whole smorgasbord of demons, as well as a demon lord, going to be slicing and dicing their way through the infantry command and the listing post of the guardsmen over here. Will be a very difficult point for the force of the Imperium to be able to defend. Although they will pop down a field command down here, being defended by these tactical marines who had to go back home to fight off the Hell Talons. More so should I say Hellhounds now for Hamid, going to help deal with this primarily demon army. Force commander walking softly, carrying a big gun with his plasma gun and his chain sword, revving and waiting to fight any forms of demons that he comes across, any treacherous legions. The Sentinel Scoutwalker having to run away, sadly. Not having the best time against these Chaos Talons. DoW bunker, well, sorry, not a bunker, some sandbanks being popped down for the Imperial conscripts, going to help with their defensive capabilities. But they will be pushed back. Not much these conscripts can do against all these Furies, especially when these Hellhounds, Demon Lord, and a Chaos Dreadnought comes into play. DoW turret emplacement there, firing heavy bolter whatnots, and also a missile launcher turret emplacement going down. Elspeth going to really, really quickly build up this listening post, much more so than the Chaos Cultists. Chaos Dreadnought, dual wielding some saw blades in either hand, will move forward, being slowed by the missile fire of these turrets. Will spin to win against those turrets, as it does seem that the Chaos Demon player has managed to fend off the Imperial Guardia. Triple Sentinel Scout Walkers moving forward, but probably don't want to engage with that. They're doing some Blue Horrors now in the middle, ripping and tearing their way through anything and everything. Very good against infantry are these Blue Horrors. Going to force back these tactical marines.
I am the Emperor's will made manifest.
But we do have the Hellhounds. And when they focus fire on these Blue Horrors and whatnot, they will fall very quickly. Once morale's broken, they are unable to regain any health and do take constant health damage, I do believe. Also some Screamers of Zinch, ramming the Hellhound on the flanks. Tactical Marines repositioning on the other side, going to focus down on these Hellhounds. So Demon Lord falls back. Do have a Demon Claw Obelisk being popped down here. Is a turret for the Demon faction, if memory serves. But the Imperial Guard faction over yonder now suffering quite heavily under the Chaos Assault. Space Marines at the front, Demons at the back. Demon Lord also getting involved in close combat. Going to see some more Chimera Assault tanks. Plus some Sentinel Armor research. Imperial Guard now going to move over to support their allies. But this is a lot of Hellhound nonsense to deal with. I imagine that the Imperial Guard will want to start transitioning into some more heavy armour in the form of Lehman Russes. Doesn't seem to be any more conscripts for the Imperial Guard over here. We do have one lonely squad over yonder, reinforcing as quick as you like. And a combination of Chimeras and missile turrets do manage to fend off these demons for now.
Squad deployed.
Helltal is now turning their attention over onto this side. Relatively undefended base of the Ultramarines. They are going to go for some Dreadnoughts. Also have some Devastator Marines on the field.
On alert, brothers.
But they have lost both of their turrets as the Chaos Dreadnought armed with a las cannon. Also serious amounts of Havoc Marines moving in. Force Commander holding as best he can, along with his Chaplain. Chaplain almost dying. Going toe to toe. But sadly will fall to the insane firepower that the Havocs bring to bear. These Hell Talons doing some serious damage to the Ultramarines' economy as the Chaos Dreadnought moves in for a killing blow. Another Lehman Russ battle tank moving in, going to provide some cover for Space Marine player as he rebuilds his forces. Another Dreadnought of the Ultramarine flavour going to provide covering fire. Going to beat back this Chaos Dreadnought as best he can. Definitely going to engage the Chaos Raps as well. Lehman Russ charging forward. The big backhand on that Hellsmith over there as well. While that's going on, my Tactical Marines have moved on, trying to alleviate the Guardsman's disposition. But Tactical Marines aren't that amazing against the Hell Talons. Hell Talons have been upgraded with their poison ability. Does damage over time and whatnot. Which is not what you want when you're defending Cadia. Imperial conscripts. Many men now regaining their numbers and joining the fight once again. Missiles and flamers and plasma guns of the Tactical Marines putting fire on these pink horrors. And that's a significant amount of pink horrors, I must say. Lehman Russ battle tank almost taken out instantly by the sheer amount of pink horrors. And it's absolute carnage and bedlam. Horrors trying to focus fire on any tank that they can get their eyes on. But without support, these horrors will probably fall, even if it is gradually. Those are blood crushers now as well. Armoured vehicle, absolutely lethal against squishy infantry. The magic temporarily discombobulating himself from the war. Chaos Demons, not known for their consistency. Bit of a standstill going on over here. Neither player strong enough to take on the other, although the Chaos player has managed to take on the Relic. As the Ultramarines try and regain their numbers. Gonna go for a whole bunch of upgrades. Target finders, battle armor, sniper training. Also these Heltons still running amok. Force of the Imperium have got to dedicate all their numbers to hold back the Force of Chaos. So the Chaos are using this to their advantage, focusing on the flanks and the economy of the Force of the Imperium. Demon Lord falling back. As Tactical Marines and conscripts alike try and beat back these pink horrors. But their numbers are many. The Guardsmen are slow but surely been whittled down to just a few. Certain placement will be built up around here. Blood Crusher will see it and decide to try and beat it back. But these Tech Priest Engine Seers, I was going to say they won't let it go down without a fight, but not much to go on there. The other Land Speeder Tempest goes to offer what services it can. Very useful against infantry. Pink Horror's numbers are failing somewhat. Tactical Marines holding the core. Do have more economic damage from this Hell Talon. Servitors trying to keep the heavy bottle turrets active. But sadly losing all their plasma generators right there. Dreadnought on Dreadnought action here. Does seem that the Dreadnought will fall to the combined power of the Chaos Predator and the Havocs. Although the Chaos Dreadnought will also go down as well as the Chaplain charges in, does what he can. But sadly will fall. With a prayer on his lips, with a battle cry in his throat. Devastator Marines equipped with their multi-melters, trying to take down this Chaos Predator, but the armour on it is thick. And they do have a Hellsmith keeping it in fighting condition, and look how good it's able to keep its health. Does seem like the final swan song for this Ultramarines player, but more Devastators, more Dreadnoughts engaging in the fight. May be able to defend while it's going on almost inversely. We do have a Fire Sword, a mighty Baneblade variant, armed with the biggest flamer known to man, more or less. Not amazing against vehicles, but brilliant against buildings and demons who are specifically weak against flames. Demons, well, sorry, not the demons, this is just regular old Chaos.
Marine squad deployed.
Being broken on the backs of the Imperial forces here. Lehman Russ in the middle of this engagement as these dudes and dudettes move forward, provide additional fire support. We do have a Chaos Demon Prince of Khorne, mighty with his axe, bursting for skulls, but sadly we do have one Space Marine player falling foul to the Force of Darkness. So now it's a 3v4, but still all to play for, as this Chaos Space Marine base does look like it's going to go down at some point if the Imperium can continue pushing forward. But does it look likely now that a Demon Prince of Khorne has moved forward? Will decide to focus its attention on this Leman Russ battle tank. Doing a fairly decent amount of damage. The Space Marines forming a retreat point, using their missile launchers to good effect. Will force him to not run away, but check his vibe, so to speak. Chaos Predator flanked by Pink Horrors and Chaos Space Marines armed with their missile launchers, keeping an eye out for any other vehicles that they could take down. Demon Prince will fall foul to the relenting fire, or the relentless fire, should I say. Doing a big old explosion before piecing out. And now a nice concave of Pink Horrors form a defensive line. But there is only so much that these guys can do against the mass firepower of Leman Russes and bolter guns. Demon Lord getting involved in the middle. We also have some Castican airborne veterans being dropped in, infiltrated, and whatnot. Have a quick look at the economies while this is going on. I've completely totally forgot, with all the action going on, completely forgot about looking at the economies. But yeah, so our fallen player, no economy there. We've got decent economy there. Not amazing economy for me, I'll be honest. Fairly decent economy for the Imperial Guard in the form of the Blast Furnace. Same over here with the Chaos player. Same over here. Fairly decent. Quite amazing economy actually for Ishan over yonder. So Chaos player over here and Imperial Guard player over here are basically the economic workhorses for both sides at the moment. Gonna start to push on over this side. Leman Russ battle tank not going to be able to stand up against the Possessed Marines and the Havocs. Do have some Blood Slaughters of Khorne. A very tasty looking Defiler. Screamers of Zinch also joining in the fray. Battle tanks and conscripts trying to hold them back. Do have a tank being dropped in there in the form of another fire sword. My poor frame rate cannot quite contend with the sheer amount of particles and firing going on around here. But once it turns its attention towards these demons, will certainly make them wish that they stayed within the Eye of Terror themselves. Blood Slaughter of Khorne, very low on health at the moment. Predators charging in, but being destroyed by these Leman Russes. Space Marines still in the fight. And now I've got a second fire sword in there as well, two Baneblade variants, ripping and tearing, Force of Chaos, making quick work of Demon and Building alike. While this is going on, we do have a Chaos Land Raider. They're going to annihilate the thermoplasma generator of the Blast Furnace. And the slow whittle down of the economy of the Force of the Imperium are being felt. We'll have to take some forces from over yonder and move them over, splitting our attention. But the conscripts now moving over onto this side, even with the Blood Crushers kind of locked out of their own allies' base at this point. Demon Pit slowly but surely being taken down. Demon Prince of Khorne going toe to toe with this fire sword. Trying to protect his allies and comrades. But maybe it's too little, too late. Not going to be enough DPS to prevent this base from falling, by the looks of things. But while this is going on, in a valley, too close to home, some would say, triple Lehman Russes. We've got it's one battle tank, 2 annihilators, going up against these dreadnoughts. We also have some Space Marines trying to just hold off this Chaos Land Raider. Do not want to see this Land Raider in the base anytime soon. One Tactical Marine Sergeant will fall. Chaos Lord also not looking all that pretty. But it does seem like they'll be able to hold off the force of chaos going on around here. As well as going on, a sizable army of conscripts. Nary a one having morale, but none of them falling back. Going to keep their assault on the go as these Pink Horrors and a Herald of Zinch prepared their defences. Duo wielding some bucks as another tank of the Imperium get dropped down. A Fire Sword once again. We've now got a Demon Prince of Zinch joining the fray. Foul magics going to allow him to bring havoc to the field. Do also have a Champion of Nurgle as well. All forms of the Chaos Gods, the entire Pantheon being represented. Well, apart from Slaanesh. We might see Slaanesh later, I can't remember for the life of me. Furies spanking this tank on the flanks. The Forced Imperium regaining their footing over here. And it does seem like the Stranger has fallen. He has managed to regain his base down here, but currently not a fighting force available. We'll probably spend the rest of the game donating power generator power. Power generator power? Just regular generator power, green money, to his allies. We do have a long-range Hellspawn providing artillery support. Fire Swords, very low on health at the moment. Might need some repairing going on here. But no Tech Priest Engine Seers in sight. Shadow Fiends doing what they can. Not sure they'll be able to, even with these low health tanks, not sure if they'll be able to do all that much. Trying to maneuver down into this narrow corridor, but these conscripts are getting in the way. Fire Swords, even though they're quite big, they still don't want to run over their comrades and allies. Certainly wouldn't do well for their morale. Space Marines regaining their health and whatnot. We do have some, do believe, well, we don't have any apothecaries at the moment, but there were apothecaries in there. Just regaining their health before they push on. Deciding to support these Lehman Russ battle tanks over yonder. We also have a Champion of Nurgle trying to defend themselves from these Castigan airborne veterans. Typhus himself would be proud of the way that this champion swings his scythe. Priest joining the Castigan airborne squad. There are some more people joining in. A Chaos Psyker will be killed more or less instantly there. Dear oh dear. But Champion Nurgle and Chaos Sorcerer will take care of those Castigans, no doubt. And now I've got Demon Prince of Khorne and a Demon Prince of Zinch tidying up the rest of these Imperium forces. All Fire Swords have gone down. And it does seem like Tactical Marines will probably want to go back home. They've done what they can. They've taken down one Chaos player. And that's all they can really hope for at the moment. Got some more Tactical Marines moving forward. Over on this side. Going to try and smack around the economy of the demons. Maybe even see if they can have a look at this Hellspawn. Insane rage on this dude. Insane amount of power as well. But unable to move. Do have a Storm Sword going into this Chaos player's base at the moment. A dummy thick cannon. Excellent against superstructures, morale. But these obliterators, oh sorry, these mutilators, which are the close combat variants of the obliterators, can absolutely spam and go ham on this Storm Sword, and it will go down quick as you like. Tactical Marines on their own, trying to do what they can, but this Hellspawn, incredibly tanky, got demon armor, and being supported by these Shadow Fiends. They've gone for a couple of yellow horrors, and they have got some serious range on them. Tactical Marines will do a tactical withdrawal and wait for Imperial Guard support. They've done what they can. They've decapped a relic, which will deny the Chaos player, at least for a small amount of time, some relic units. Demon Prince of Khorne trundling along the valleys. Its airborne veterans are probably not long for this world. Now we do have a gate of the Dark Mechanicum. This is where you will see any Chaos Titans coming from. That's a better look at that. That's a terrifying little structure right there. Bloodlayers now chasing down these Space Marines all the way back home. What's going on in the Imperial Guard base has got some industry commands which allow them to increase their blue money intake. Also some Mars pattern commands. I'm not doing all that well, I'll be honest. Titan Assembly Bunker, now going to go for a Command Reaver Titan. So expect to see some big units coming from the Imperial Guard player on this side. Pardon me. Bloodletters looking to let some blood, but not sure how well they'll fare against triple Lehman Russes and a whole smorgasbord of Tactical Marines. Double Mutilators over here though. They'll be happy to teleport in and wreck face with anyone and everyone that they can.
We are taking fire.
But, I mean, these guys are brave, but this is a lot of fire coming on their side. Will probably want to run back home before they get absolutely annihilated. Got an Ironclad Dreadnought being deep strucken in. Go and see if they can go up against these Mutilators, but probably not the best idea. I'll be honest, I did think that these were Obliterators. Will be instantly wiped out by those guys. And we do have a Chaos Lord in Terminator armor. None of his auto cannon. Look at that, I mean, like, there we go, we can appreciate the model now. Absolutely terrifying unit. Taking so much damage in the face. Mutilators standing firm in the middle. I mean, look at the amount of health I've got. Only 3 models, but still. More health than even a Lehman Russ itself. One goes down, another Ironclad falls foul. We do have another Hellspawn being popped down here.
We are taking fire.
But it does seem that the Imperial forces will be able to stand here and defend for a little while. And here we go. A Ravager Titan on the field. Slow in its moving. Absolutely terrifying voice. This will be able to provide some serious damage. Many weapons. I mean, just having a look at it, what we've got: autocannons, Gatling gun, rockets. All's got a warp field generator around it. That's what its morale is. So any damage done to it will do damage to its morale first before it does damage to its actual armour. And I'm going to have to take a quick drink. Good lord, I've been doing a lot of talking here. There we go, whistle fairly wetted. Normally in a game like this I would talk about strategies and what players could do to potentially offset what the other players are doing. But realistically, in this battle, it's a case of just get your biggest weapons online as early as possible and smash them into the enemy. Commander Reaver Titan almost finished. It takes a long time to build up these guys. And to be honest, with these hell spawns, slow but surely commanding more and more of the map, preventing any of our dudes from really pressing any forwards. And here we go, Ravager Titan firing away with its giant las cannon, taking out, by the looks of it, 2 Leman Russes in one fell shot. Missiles as well going off. This one tactical marine not quite surviving there. In response, these Leman Russes are going to try and focus on this thermo plasma generator. Got to keep away from that Titan. Can't really fight until we get our own Titan online. But here we go. But let's see if I can hear what his command bark is like. The hand of the Emperor does indeed guide all.
The hand of the Emperor guides all.
And he's going to move forward. And Titan on Titan action here. You can see him off in the distance, armed with more or less the same kind of weaponry. Just a little bit more honest, a little bit more loyal. Gonna fire away with those missiles, killing and maiming anything and everything within its path. But the Chaos Titan does not seem to mind. Quite content with just ripping and tearing his way through the battlefield. Slowly making his way across over into the Imperial side. Lacking much in the way of support though, he's kind of riding solo.
By the Emperor's will, we are here.
These mutilators still on the field. No one's managed to really take him on in any way, shape or form. Hellspawn now been popped down here. Champion and Nurgle also coming out to say hello.
Ready to win the war, sir. Cassican squad ready for war. Colonel Brom here.
Standing ready.
Commander Reaver Titan. Gonna have to navigate through this narrow passage.
Lift.
Can't really get through this amount of models there. They can't go forward because they'll get killed by the enemy Titan. Can't go back because they'll block by the Commander Reaver Titan. It's like traffic on the M1. Now at the moment we do have a sizable amount of pink horrors and a Demon Prince of Zinch. Now we'll go and say hello. This field command replacing the Chaos Space Marines base. Probably won't last all that long, as they will be sandwiched between the Reaver Titan and the Prince of Zinch. Also going to go for an Overshield's research on the arm, shield and weapon buffer upgrade. These Titans can upgrade on the fly. Bit of an Apocalypse missile launcher upgrade for this Ravager Titan. Just absolute chaos and bedlam as a Demon Prince of the regular old Pantheon, Chaos Undivided, slowly but surely trundles its way over towards these dudes. Titan being supported by Devastator Marines. Devastator Marines losing their morale as they see the force of Chaos move into close combat.
Squad ready for war.
Demon Prince commanding once again this side of the map, leading the charge.
Where's our fire support?
Chaos Ravager doing a bit of a T-pose. Are you not entertained? He shouts from the box grills.
Standing ready.
Do have some tainted tank drops, a little bit cheesy, I'll be honest, a little bit warpy, but then again, Chaos players are not known for playing fair. Hellsmith just chilling out in the middle.
Retreat and regroup.
Cassican squad ready.
The hand of the Emperor guides all.
And yeah, it's all just really
The hand of the Emperor
The words can't really describe what's going on at the moment. Oh, jeez, we've got an Imperial Reaver Titan. Look at him. See if we can get some shots of him firing away. Oh, my frame rate. That's painful. But goodness gracious me. That's a tasty view right there. Firing away with his Gatling gun. This Demon Prince being sent back to the warp, kicking and screaming. As a whole smorgasbord of tech priest engineers coming in to repair the damage done to this Command Reaper. Or Reaver, sorry. Though on the other side of the battlefield, it's not looking all that pretty for the Imperial Guard here. Having Dreadnoughts been deep struck into the Imperial Guard's base. Imperial Guard trying to go for some nuclear weapon centres. Trying to construct the super weapon. And so the Chaos players' main focus now is trying to deny the Imperial Guard their nuclear weapons. If they are able to get a nuke off, it basically just destroys like a whole quarter of the map. It's the Chaos players' prerogative and overall main objective to deny the Imperial Guard their super weapons. Double Titans in the middle. But they can't afford to lose another Imperial Guardsman player. 2 versus 3 at this stage of the game won't do them all that well. Turret emplacement being bashed over by the Hellspawn. Oh! I thought that the Hellspawn couldn't move, but it can. So never mind me. Warp trickery in the mix. Demon Prince potentially not looking too healthy. Might potentially be able to beat these guys back once that Prince has been taken down, but this Reaver Titan not wanting to fall back. Imperial Titans now going to come over and see what they could do. Nuclear Weapons Center looks like it's going to go down. Only 45% being done. And sadly, it wasn't the will of the Emperor for the blast furnace to bring forth the nuclear weapons this day. But the demons seem to be faltering in their attack now. Do have a regular old Baneblade on the field. Some Thunder Laser Destroyer tanks. Going to be bringing down this Hellspawn as and when it can. Commander Reaver Titan going to be providing for support. As this Titan kind of just spins around. It's a very difficult map for Titans to maneuver around. Nothing else major coming from the Chaos players at the moment. Baneblade looking like it's going to fall down as it's been spit roasted by Obliterators and Baneblades. Oh, sorry, not Baneblades, and the Chaos Dreadnought. Ravager Titan having done its bit. Going to stand in the middle, destroy what it can.
The hand of the Emperor guides all.
Titan's now moving into firing range. And 2 Titans versus 1 Titan. This Chaos Ravager Titan will probably want to go back home. But while this is going on, we do have a Helldrake swooping in. This is another Titan available to the Chaos players. Let's look at the sheer amount of damage it can do to structures. Constantly firing. With no army in the base at the moment. Imperial Guard look very fragile. Already taking out plasma generators.
Imperial Reaver Titan.
Chaos Titan is falling back now that it's done its job. Pinkor is still in the field. And some devastated Marines fly away at them. Trying to defend what little remains of the Imperial Guard's base. Significant amount of turret placements. Shooting down this Helldrake. Though it is a Titan, it's probably one of the more vulnerable or weaker Titans in the sense of its health and armour. Still to take quite a beating. Got some Cascan Airborne veterans. While this is going on as well, some Chaos Space Marines moving around the side. We focus firing on these listing posts. Ravager Titan moving back in for a second helping. These Titans are now going to turn their attention over onto this side. Going to see if they can take care of the Force of Chaos over yonder. Do have a Force of Whirlwinds providing long-range support.
My devotion is assured.
Everyone now moving over to this side of the battlefield. Need to protect as much of this Imperial Guard base as possible. But Blast Furnace has taken a blasting. Hammond is also on the way up Schitt's Creek, about paddle.
We will serve.
Obliterators annihilating buildings from a distance. Titan Assembly bunker also looking like it's going to go down here. There are some Stern Guard veterans being deep struck in. Their mighty pauldrons, their Stalker bolters being upgraded with they multi-melters. Whirlwind Mark 1s firing away at these obliterators. But the Helldrake still relatively healthy. With this going on, we do have some Imperial Reavers runneling their way in, but sadly, from the perspective of the Chaos player, where's he gone? The Titan has been assaulted by a whole smorgasbord of infiltrated Chaos Dreadnoughts. And now being surrounded, will not be able to maneuver away. Or at least will find it very difficult to maneuver. But doing a hell of a lot of damage over yonder. Shrines of Chaos being flamed down. Reaver Titan just chilling out. The gentleman's agreement, just giving that Imperial Guard player room to breathe. Command Reaver's returned back home. Typically provide a defensive firing line for himself. Imperial Reaver Titan trying to do the same, but being surrounded by tainted tank traps and Chaos Dreadnoughts. Alone in this world. But his warp armor, or his warp generator shield, still holding firm as these Vulture gunships assaulting into the Chaos base, giving them a taste of their own medicine for once. It's not all over yet. Imperial Guard and the Space Marines still have got some vital units on the field, but the chances are looking slim. Helldrake coughing up deadly warp fire towards these Vulture gunships. Going to take them out piecemeal. While that's going on, Jesus Christ, we've still got an Obliterator. God, those guys just don't die, do they? And sadly, a Reaver Titan falls down. And whiff it for the Imperium into the defense of Cadia. Fall with it. Hammond throws out the GG. A legion of Chaos Dreadnoughts march forward. Whirlwinds are going to set up for one more defense. We're walking 3 Whirlwinds and a couple of Stern Guard veterans do against this amount of Chaos Dreadnoughts. The other Command Reaver. The Hammond throws out GG. Blast Furnace throws out GG. And this was a very, very exciting match, I do have to say. Like I say, I couldn't really do all that much in the way of giving you some background on tactics and whatnot, just because this was just pure spectacle. There we go, I'm trying to throw out a GG, but I don't know how to play the game. This was my first ever Ultimate Apocalypse game. And I think I did alright. I think I contributed a little bit, especially at the beginning of the game. But yeah, thank you ever so much to all the players who invited me to play with them and to record this game and do a cast. If you want to support these guys, they do have a Patreon for their Ultimate Apocalypse mod. The links to the mod and their Patreon will be in the description of this video. Also, if you want to support this channel and whatnot, you'll have seen the suggestion at the bottom over here. You can find the links to my Patreon and whatnot. £1 a month gets you 1 extra game a week on this channel and whatnot. But yeah, I'm absolutely knackered. My voice is dying, more or less. But yeah, anyway, mine's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure's always, never chore. And I will see you in a bit. Peace.